We are ending this chaotic year in a few weeks, and so good tidings we bring to you and your kin. The tidings being the 10 biggest spaceships that are seen in TV series and movies of 2025. So without further delay, let's get to them. At the number 10 spot we have the USS Enterprise. This is a 23rd century Constitution-class heavy cruiser in Star Trek's Strange New Worlds. It is one of Starfleet's original 12 deep space exploration vessels and the first to bear its name. Constructed at the San Francisco Fleet Yards, the Enterprise evolved into the Federation's de facto flagship, which is a symbol of Starfleet's ideals from the year 2245 to the year 2285. Measuring 442 meters in length and 190,000 metric tons, the Enterprise was capable of speeds of up to warp 6.5. or maybe even warp 8.5 achievable in emergencies. It is armed with 8 phaser banks, 4 photon torpedo launchers, and protected by deflector shields. The Enterprise balanced scientific capabilities with formidable tactical strength, and thus becomes one of the most iconic and influential vessels in the Federation history. Number 9. The USCSS Magino. This was a Weyland-Yutani class deep space exploration vessel that was launched in the year 2055 as part of the CM-88B Bison design line. Although officially it was designated for scientific discovery, its true purpose evolved into that of a long-range biological acquisition spacecraft as a mobile vault engineered to seek out, secure, and to transport alien specimens across interstellar space. Over its 65-year mission, the Magino gathered multiple organisms and lost several crew members as the ship shifted from exploration to covert bioweapons retrieval. With vast displacement, measuring around 150 million tons, modular labs, and heavy containment systems, it became one of the company's most durable platforms for xenobiological exploration. In the year 2120, after recovering a xenomorph sample, the Magino crashed on Earth, and the wreck along with its specimen cargo was ultimately recovered, but not by Weyland-Yutani, but by the rival Prodigy Corporation, thus transforming the vessel's final moments into a flashpoint of corporate competition. Number 8. The Federation ship. So this one is seen in the live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch, which serves as the flagship of the Grand Councilwoman and the operational hub of the Galactic Armada. This massive grey Zeppelin-shaped vessel functions as both a mobile seat of government and a military command center. Inside of it, it contains a network of cell bays, corridors, and control rooms, along with an enormous council chamber where delegates of the United Galactic Federation convene for high-level decisions. Security throughout the ship is maintained by full-body armored reptilian guards, which shows its dual role as a diplomatic stronghold as well as a heavily protected starship. Number 7. The ship from Mickey 17. So this ship here is only shown in fragments, but those glimpses paint a clear picture of a vessel built entirely for function rather than aesthetics or defense. During the early EVA scenes, or outer space scenes, and later when the ship finally lands on Niflheim, it becomes apparent that its interior decks are arranged horizontally rather than vertically, with floors running lengthwise from the back of the ship to the front. Externally, the ship is a massive rectangular block, elongated block, with angular and utilitarian features, and lacks heavy weapons or armor. It wasn't built like a warship or anything else, but as a colony transport engineered to carry people and equipment across interstellar distances with maximum efficiency and minimal concern for style or combat capabilities. Number 6. The ISV. So the interstellar vehicle that was seen in the previous Avatar films and again would be seen in the third installment is the largest spacecraft fielded by the RDA in the Avatar movies, with the ISV Venture Star as well as all the others being 1,646 meters long. These starships are built for interstellar travel between Earth and Pandora using a mix of antimatter-matter engines, photon sails, and fusion planetary maneuvering engines. An ISV accelerates to 0.7 times the speed of light in 5.5 months, and then cruises for nearly 6 years, and then decelerates for another 5.5 months, completing the 4.37 light-year trip in 6.75 years. The ship itself doesn't land. Instead, it deploys Valkyrie shuttles or landing modules into the planet or the moon. In atmospheric entry, though, the antimatter exhaust alone can incinerate a 20-mile radius below. The ISVs are not combat ships, but they are the backbone of the RDA's entire colonization effort. Number 5. The Imperial Star Destroyers. So, this was seen in Star Wars Tales of the Underworld. The Imperial Star Destroyers were seen in the backdrop. They were seen as symbols of Imperial power and were being constructed in shipyards on the planet called Casero. Here, the characters like Asajj Ventress and young Padawan Lyko Strata operate, showcasing them as the daunting replacements for the Venator-class Star Destroyers, and they were being showcased as being a constant threat, even being featured in the background scenes of them being built or used to quell worlds, solidifying their role as the Empire's iconic capital ships. Number 4. The Ferrofluid Mother. The Apple TV series Invasion shows an alien invasion of Earth from the viewpoint of a few individuals who are unrelated to each other and are spread across the world. The protagonists are first seen to be people randomly caught in the events, but some later wind up playing more important parts. The alien enemies seemingly appear like ferrofluid-based life forms, which are then revealed to be like the attack drones, while the real aliens are like terrestrial bioluminescent jellyfish creatures that walk on 4 legs. But anyway, these aliens travel from their system to Earth in massive motherships that seem to appear like gigantic discs with cities at the center. In Season 2, it was mentioned that humans tried to nuke it and failed as it was protected by some ubiquitous force field. In any case, it looks like a gigantic flower with spires at the center. Number 3. ISS Charon. So Star Trek 31 is a film where Michelle Yeoh stars as Philippa Georgiou, reprising her role from Discovery, and in here in the mirror universe, an alternate universe governed by a ruthless Terran empire, a teenage Philippa Georgiou returns home from a deadly contest to determine the next emperor, and she's planning to enter the Prime Universe through a wormhole and then conquer it as well. At least that is what the story is meant to portray. There were many ships in the film like the massive Baram luxury space station, a couple of Terran starships which are comparable in size to the USS Discovery and USS Enterprise, but one ship stands out from the rest, one that is shown in a glimpse, and this is the ISS Charon, a massive flagship of the Terran Empire that is easily around 8 to 10 kilometers long, or more than 5 miles, as the Discovery in the previous show was seen to have flown inside of it with relative ease, and this ISS Charon makes its return in this show. Number 2. The Highliners. So of course, Dune Prophecy, which of course came out last year in December 2024, can still be counted as this year's series, as the majority of us would have only seen the show until after 2025 crossover. Highliners are the Spacing Guild's enormous starships. They are the backbone of interstellar travel across the Imperium in the Dune universe. They were built to transport thousands of passengers, vast cargoes, and even entire fleets by folding space itself. They are piloted by Guild navigators and steersmen. These vessels allow instantaneous travel between distant worlds. While Frank Herbert never detailed their design, adaptations have portrayed Highliners in a range of shapes, from the cylindrical giants of the 1984 film and the 2000 miniseries to the ovoid tunnel-like constructs of the 2021 movie. Anyway, this design here in this show places particular emphasis on earlier, more primitive forms of these ships. In the series, Highliners appear as massive rectangular constructs, still colossal but noticeably more angular and industrial than the later, sleeker cylindrical descendants or counterparts. And the biggest spaceship this year is the Tar-2. The Tar-2 is Galactus' colossal world ship, finally receiving major screen attention in the movie Fantastic Four: First Steps, surprising many viewers who had never seen this often overlooked piece of Galactus' cosmic lore. Because Galactus' size fluctuates from planetary scale to a more manageable 30 feet when interacting with models in worlds like Earth, his full natural form requires a vessel capable of supporting this unfathomably vast mass. That's where the Tar-2 comes in. Traditionally, cosmic depiction places the ship anywhere between planet size to colossal solar system size. In the movie First Steps, however, the Tar-2 takes on a far more industrial, utilitarian aesthetic, resembling an enormous planet-cracking boring machine, with its front end calling to mind the massive cutting phase of tunneling devices or vehicles like Seattle's Big Bertha or the Big Boring Machine. And so with that, we end this video on the 10 biggest spaceships of 2025, from movies and shows, including from Dune Prophecy of last year. Anyway, do hit the like button for support, and also for the ones holding their phones in their hands, do hit the hype option to push this content further. Also click that notification bell to get updates on new videos. Subscribe to be a part of Legion Nutbug, of course, and till the next time, take care, boys.